I've been taking product photos since 2008, and boy howdy did I suck at it at the beginning. I made all of the mistakes, like all of them, and I see lots of makers out there making these same mistakes to this day. So in today's video and podcast, I really want to help you by telling you 5 mistakes you are making with your product photos and how to fix them. G'day there, my name is Jess Van Den, and if you are new to my channel, I have been making handmade jewellery and selling it since 2008, and since 2010 I've been fully self-employed. My brand name is Ethereal. Since 2013 I have been helping makers like you and me work out how to take your handmade hobby and turn it into a thriving, profitable business via my blog, podcast, membership site, courses and YouTube channel, Create and Thrive. And you can find out more about that over there. So today is all about product photography, and I think we've got lots to learn. Okay, so what are some of the most common mistakes I see makers making with their product photos? Number 1 is blurry photos. Now there's a few things that can be causing this. The first and most obvious thing is you're shaking in some way when you're taking the photo. This is especially important for those of you photographing small things, because the more close in you are, the more obvious blur becomes. If you're photographing something big from a distance, it's usually not quite as obvious. So there are a couple of solutions here. If you're like me and you have a little bit of a shake in your hands, you want to make sure that, if you're using a phone to take your photos, you've got the anti-shake feature turned on. Same with, modern DSLRs probably have that as well. Mine's pretty old, so I'm not quite sure, because that will help to mitigate that problem. But if you're still finding that you're getting blurry photos, one reason is, again, you might be moving too quickly when you're taking the photo. So instead of framing it up, taking the photo, pausing for a second and then moving, you might find yourself moving to the next shot before it's completely finished, and that can result in blur as well. The other thing is the flip side. If you're photographing a model or a person, they might be moving, so you need to make sure to get them to stay still while you're taking the photo. A solution here is a tripod. If, I don't like using tripods personally usually, because I like to move around my product and take it from lots of different angles so that I can then, once I look through them, decide which one looks the best for my main product photo. But, it can be a great solution if you want a clear, crisp picture with no blur. You can put it on a tripod, and even better, if you have a remote, you can just click the remote button to take the photo. And if you think, oh my God, that sounds expensive, seriously, you can get Bluetooth remotes to take photos with your phone for a couple of dollars. They're not expensive at all. And it's just like a little button, and you can click that and it takes the photo. So that is a piece of kit that you might want to invest in, the tripod and the Bluetooth clicker, if you want to make sure that you avoid the blurry problem. Number 2, flash. My first photos I took with the flash. I seriously had no idea what I was doing. Do not use the flash, okay? It creates harsh shadow. It does not look good. Only professional photographers who use flash usually have like multiple ones that go off at once to fill the room with light, not just harsh light from one direction. You want to use one of 2 things: either natural light, so next to a brightly lit window on a patio where you're in the shade, but you've got lots of natural light around you, under a skylight, whatever it is, somewhere that has lots of natural indirect light. Do not take it in the direct sun. You can take it on a day outside when it's cloudy, because that will diffuse the light. That works really well as also. The other option is artificial light. So a lot of you might live somewhere where getting good quality naturally lit photos throughout the year can be challenging, especially in winter. So that's when it's a good idea to have some artificial lights. I have, for example, you can probably see it reflecting in my glasses, I've got a set of studio box lights. So they're these big lights with a diffuser over the front, which is like, you can make it yourself with a piece of paper or some white fabric, and that will give you some nice diffused light. Just make sure if you're using artificial light that you get white light, not yellow light. Okay, because yellow light will give a horrible cast to your photos. You want nice and natural white light that looks like sunlight, basically, at midday. Number 3, make sure everything is clean and pristine. I see this a lot, especially with jewelry photos, people who take a really, close-up jewelry photo and the background, especially if you're using like felt or something, which I really don't recommend, it usually looks gross because something like felt just attracts dust and dirt to it. And when you take those close-up photos, man, you can see it and it looks nasty. So you need to make sure that not only is the product clean and pristine, but the background is clean and pristine. Again, the smaller the thing you're photographing, the more important this becomes. So you just make sure that you're using a background that's very easy to keep clean. That's why I say avoid things like felt and fabrics generally as a background that can attract a lot of dust, especially dark ones, because it really shows up on them. So make sure that you're avoiding that, because it's really off-putting to have a dirty background behind your product. Also avoid like wrinkled fabric or anything like that. I made that mistake as well. So make sure the background is clean and pristine to show your item off in its best light so that people don't get distracted by anything else happening. And on that note, number 4, do not overstyle your product photos, especially your main photo. Now, I did another video on this, the 7 types of product photos that you should be taking. You can check that out. I'll put a card up here, a link to that. And one of the things I talked about is like the lifestyle shot. And that's cool. Like in that particular shot, you want the thing to be in its natural environment. But especially your main product photo and subsequent ones that show detail, get rid of all the styling. Like it's okay to have 1 or 2 things there that really complement, but do not detract or distract from the product. Always remember, very simple, your product is the star of the show. Your product must be the star of the show. It must be the thing in the photo that people's eyes are drawn to. So if you do any styling, it needs to draw people's eye towards your product, not away from your product. I see a lot of people making this mistake of like putting lots of cute little things, I don't know, flowers or shells or environment. Again, guilty of doing this myself. And it can work, but you have to be really careful with it. When in doubt, remove any like extraneous stuff from the photo and just focus on your product. And the 5th thing I see people doing is not editing their photos. It's just taking the photo, putting it straight in their shop. Even if you've taken a really good photo, 99 times out of 100, it's going to benefit from some editing, whether it's adjusting the white balance, whether it's bringing up the brightness a little bit to make it really pop, whatever it is, I strongly recommend you edit all your photos. Now, you can do this straight from your phone. If you are taking photos on your phone, you can use something like Snapseed or Lightroom to edit your photos right on your phone and then upload them. I know a lot of people are doing that these days. I'm still old school. I put it on my big desktop monitor and I edit it on there because I want to see it in detail. But most people are shopping on their phones these days, so they're going to see that small photo. So you need to make sure when it's a very small photo, it still pops off the screen and looks bright and enticing. A mistake some people make, and I have made with my editing, is editing on a big desktop monitor thinking, oh, that looks fantastic. And then when I put it on a tiny little screen, it's like, ooh, no, that's really dark. That's not good. So always test as well to see how it looks on multiple devices, especially big and small, so that you know that it still looks great at whatever size people are looking at it on. So make sure to edit your photos. And you can really see this if you just go into Google Shopping or go into Etsy or wherever, search for the sort of items you're making and look at the main product photos. You'll notice that you'll be instantly drawn to certain ones. Chances are they're really nicely bright. They pop off the screen because the editing has been done to make them look that way. You have to be careful that you don't go too far with your editing. You want it to be true to life, the colors to be as true to life as possible. So that is, that's kind of, you got to find the balance there, but it really is worthwhile to do because it'll make your stuff stand out and look really, really lovely. So there you go, 5 mistakes you might be making with your product photos. I've made them all multiple times. I've gone through lots of different iterations of taking photos of my items. I'm pretty happy with how they are now, but hey, there's always room to improve. I'll be honest, some of the older products in my shop have not quite as good photos. They have, you know, some photos that I kind of look and go, I really need to rephotograph that. But when you have hundreds of products, it can get a little bit overwhelming at times. What I recommend is, you know, start as well as you can from the beginning. And then, you know, if you get to the stage where you're like, this is just not working, work your way through slowly but surely, taking new photos of your products. And especially if you're a made to order maker like me, have a list of the photos of the items you need to photograph, and then when someone buys it, you've got a great opportunity there to rephotograph it again and get better photos in your shop. If you want to learn more about how to take really excellent product photos for your shop, I have a workshop inside my membership community, the Thriver Circle, steps to improve your product photography. And what I've shared today is just a little snippet of that. There's so much you can do to improve your photos. So you can check that out over at thrivercircle.com. They're usually an hour to an hour and a half long, really in-depth workshops. And I give you opportunity through the workshop to actually stop and do some of the work. So you can check that out at thrivercircle.com, where you've got that and like 30 or 40 other handmade business workshops right there as soon as you join. And of course, my Your Gear to Thrive course, which is a year-long course with one lesson per week that will teach you everything you need to know to start and grow a successful handmade business. It's the course I wish I'd had in my first 5 years of business. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. And if you want more videos just like this, make sure to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss future videos. And you can click that notification bell as well, and you will be told by YouTube when I release a new video. If you have any thoughts or tips or advice of your own on this or experiences with this, leave them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye for now.